ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Woods Walk Gun Talk, part of the Walking with Jaybo experience. So this is Woods Walk Gun Talk number 32. As you can see, fall is well underway. Should be a beautiful walk today. And we'll see what we see in here today. Last time we walked through here, it was a bit overcast, sort of. And we saw 4 deer, which was nice. Look at this beautiful fall day. I love Maine, I really do. So, we are going to have winter coming soon. Doesn't feel like it today. Today, it's almost 70 degrees. It was 70 yesterday. It's going to be 71 tomorrow. Today is a nice Sunday. Good day for a walk. And we went and had range day yesterday, which was nice, really nice. We shot a lot of 45 ACP, which is always fun to shoot. And now we're gonna go for a nice walk in the woods. Isn't this nice? We'll flip this around. Hi everybody, Jaybo here. Who else would it be? And yeah, we went shooting yesterday. We shot 45 ACP. We shot the brand new Auto Ordnance Fight 1911, the Trump gun, the newest one. Absolutely gorgeous pistol. More so in person than on the internet. And it had the weight reduced slide with these slots in it. Beautiful sights. Nice big kind of like tactical combat sights with 2 nice white dots in the back, a nice fat white dot in the middle. Excellent shooter. Oh man, it's just as good as my Trump Auto Ordnance firearm, the Make America Great Again one for the 45th President series that came out in 2019, I think. And so I'm happy to have that one to shoot as well. And you know, enjoy your Second Amendment rights and understand that the Democrats are trying to take them. They're not going to stop. We survived the initial round of gun control after the mass shooting here in 2023. We managed to come out of it with a more enhanced yellow flag law and a 72-hour wait period, which I had not found out, and this had not occurred to me, that if you order a firearm online and you get that firearm at the FFL, the shipping time it took to get it oftentimes is a week. So they're not counting that towards the 3-day wait period. Because the whole purpose of that law was for people that were going to be, you know, doing self-harm, which is one of those things where it's unfortunate, and unfortunately people have to sacrifice their comfort levels for a minority of people that are going to do self-harm with a firearm. It's not a widespread problem. But the Democrats needed to pass something for their base, and that's what they did. It's the same law that they couldn't get passed here before, in other words, in Maine. So the fact that we did have a mass shooting changed a lot of independence thinking, which is why we need to be very diligent in telling people to be responsible with their firearms. And if you know somebody that's going through a hard time, you need to talk with them and do the difficult conversation about firearms and self-harm. So firearms are something that do get used for suicides, but the most common, I believe, is other methods. And a lot of times when people attempt suicide, it's a cry for help. It's like, a lot of times they do things like they will take too many drugs to try to overdose, and then they end up calling for help. Or they'll slit their wrist and they end up getting help. So a lot of that self-harm is a cry for help that way. And their first choice would not be a firearm, because that's pretty much going to do the job. And if it doesn't, you're going to have some really bad ill effects from it. So we could see this beautiful view today. So it's very important to support mental health with people you know that have firearms. And I don't know what your state's laws are like. Maine still has a yellow flag law, but they have expanded it a little bit to give law enforcement more leeway to act on their own. I'm not sure if I support that or not. Sounds like a good idea, but it leaves it open to people abusing it, and that's really the problem I have. We only have one constitution, and you start giving them loopholes, and then you get bad actors taking advantage of those loopholes. That I don't want. So I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see this nice view today. So anyway, that Auto Ordnance Trump handgun is absolutely phenomenal. What a great pistol. Had a lot of fun shooting it. I am going to have a tabletop review of that shortly, and shooting video. It was a lot of fun. And we shot 230 grain ball ammo, and we also shot 200 grain semi wad cutter, kind of like home loads, I guess, but it was a company that was selling ammo that is now bankrupt, defunct, and the last info I can find about this ammo was 2016. Kind of a small hole-in-the-wall company. And the ammo shot okay. I don't remember the name of the company. I guess it doesn't matter because they're not around anymore. But it was decent ammo. It shot well. And semi-wad cutters, when you use a bullet that isn't too long, will run just fine in a 1911. So keep that in mind. If you're ever on the fence about buying semi-wad cutter ammo, hopefully they will have the information about the total length of the round, so you can cross-reference it with 230 ball ammo. Because if the nose is too long in 1911 rounds, it will not chamber well. You'll have a lot of failure to feeds, a lot of jambolinas, in other words. So shop carefully for that. Most of the hollow points will run fine because they sell the hollow point types that is basically shaped like the ball ammo with a hole in the end. So those catch the ramp and feed just fine. Semi-wide cutters, on the other hand, are shaped very differently. So the length of the bullet matters. And if it's a soft lead, you can shorten the bullets yourself with a file, the very tip, so they will feed better. If you want to go through each one at a time and do that. But these fed fine. So don't be too afraid to buy different kinds of ammo if you see a good price. My brother picked these up at $10 for 50 rounds for 45 ACP. Can't beat that with a stick. They were all lead. It was hard lead. They shot very well. They were accurate. So anyway, back to the Democrats. They're going to be coming around this year to try to take more rights. They're going to wait until after the election, because that's what they do. And, you know, they're very good at that. Perfect example, we got an election year this year, and they're not talking about transgender ideology because it's not popular with people. It's being forced on people because of Democrat donors with billions of dollars forcing it. And it's also why Jared Golden flip-flopped to all of a sudden wanting gun control here, the Democrat blue dog congressman. And I'm predicting he's going to get unseated because of it. And he's down in the polls right now to the Trump-endorsed Republican, and we're in a Republican district. So go figure, right? Maine's a gun state. Democrats own firearms here. It was a bad move for him to do that. But he listened to special interest groups. Money. He needed his fundraising as a Democrat for his party. And all the major parties do it. Candidates have to raise money for their party. And which is why independents and libertarians usually don't have any money. They do get a little bit automatically from the federal government. All the parties do. If you're on the ballot, you are compensated for your campaign to a certain degree. I think it's like $4 million. But if you're a congressman in DC, in the United States Congress, you have to fundraise for your party, no matter who you are, Republican, Democrat, or whatever. And a lot of times that's how they get bought. And I think that's what happened to Jared Golden. I say that because we had the mass shooting here. He was anti-gun. He's the only Democrat that voted against all gun legislation in DC, all of it. Now he's flip-flopped. The Maine Wire, independent news service, reported that he changed his mind in December of last year, 2 months after the mass shooting. And they also reported that he had just accepted money from the Soros family, 2 relatives. So 2 plus 2 equals they bought him to change his mind on firearms. He probably didn't want to do it because what happened was, as he said, nobody should have military style weapons. Nobody should have assault style weapons. Assault rifles, which we know is a made up term, it doesn't exist. Military doesn't use those. So, you know, it's for the civilian market, it just looks military. It's not military. So anyway, so he ends up taking that money, which was reported, and then he flip-flops and says they should be banned outright. this is a quote, he said he's going to make sure he sees them banned by the time he's done in DC. So then he got some backlash for it, and about 2 to 3 weeks later, a month later, he comes out and says, well, maybe not ban them, we'll do a tax stamp. So you have to register, it's a gun registry, is what it is. Because you have to apply for a tax stamp from the government like you do with a suppressor, or if you want to own a machine gun. So it's going to cost you an annual fee to own something you've had for years, guaranteed by the Constitution. And that's not helping him either. So he's going to learn the hard way, because states like Maine are not going to put up with that. Because Democrats own firearms here, and he's in a red district. If he was in a blue district, it would probably be easier for him to do that. But we're in a red one. So he's pretty much signed his own death warrant, and with regards to an election win or loss. So we'll see what happens. Personally, I think he's going to lose, because it's been a Republican seat for a long time, and I want to see it red again, because we need more red in Washington, D.C. for when Trump wins. So we walk on. So anyway, those are my thoughts on that stuff. They're going to be coming around back at us again. And if the Democrats win the House after this election, they're going to be spending a lot of time trying to usurp President Trump. So hopefully that'll take away from them banning guns, or trying to. And hopefully the Republicans win the Senate, which, to be honest with you, looks like that's going to happen. Make sure you go vote, okay? Grab a friend and vote. As the old saying goes, vote twice by bringing a friend with you. So, very important election this year. If we lose the White House, and we lose Congress, and we lose the Senate, the Democrats are not going to waste any time making big changes. They're going to get rid of the filibuster, and then a simple 50-vote majority. They'll basically be able to pass whatever they want easily. If they have even just a 2-seat advantage or a 1-seat advantage, or they break the tie with the vice president. So we need to win everything. And we're on pace to doing very well. I don't know about Congress, but the Senate looks good. It's looking good for Trump too. So people need to vote down ticket. People need to be sick of the leftist agenda they've been pushing, and vote accordingly. Stop screwing around. If you haven't voted in 20 years, then get off your ass and go vote. I don't want to hear your bullshit if you don't vote. Oh, the Democrats do this. I hate that they're doing that. They're ruining our kids. Well, did you go vote? If you didn't vote, shut the fuck up. I'm just going to be honest and blunt about it. I'm that passionate about it. I'm tired of hearing people cry, piss, moan, and shit all over themselves about the Democrats. And they don't do anything about it. So, excuse my French. But I am getting pretty heated. This is a big deal this year. We could lose everything this year. Not, you know, as being a joke about it, like just being upset and saying we will. I mean, we literally will. That's what happened in Europe. Once you let them in the door and they get a firm foothold, it's all over. It's gone. Everything. Gun rights, everything. Jobs, manufacturing. You know, I've been seeing commercials bragging about new clean energy jobs. Those are tax-funded, taxpayer-funded, inflation-causing spending that created those jobs. None of that stuff is popular. It'll never run on its own. Obama tried that with, what was it? Solendrum, I think it was called. Solar energy company. Used tax dollars, invested in it, and we lost everything. You know? Somebody got rich off it. You know, it wasn't Americans with tax-paying jobs. It was jobs created temporarily, I should say, because a lot of those financial ventures by the government go bust. Anyway, we're walking along here, and it's nice. Now, I haven't walked for 2 days, so I want to do a little bit extra today. And the reason why I didn't walk for 2 days is one day I was busy, and the other day we went shooting, and I only had about 3.5 hours sleep. And I was so tired yesterday. So anyway, I really tried my best to stay up till about 11:30 at night, which is usually easy for me. And I was fighting to stay awake. So I went to sleep at around 12 o'clock. And I woke up this morning at 10. So I slept a long time. It's about 10 hours. And a lot of times I will do that on Sunday morning. That's one of my days I like to sleep in. So as you can see, we have a beautiful day today. And I'm just going to go where my little feet lead me. So we have an absolutely wonderful thing going right now with the election. I hope you appreciate what's going on. Trump is in the best position he has ever been to win an election. That cannot be argued. Now, they were talking about Trump going up in the polls. He's going up in the polls. Well, he did inch up a little bit on his own, but he also had some help because the pollsters, as we get closer to the election, are being a little bit more honest about it. And at the end of the day, they are underestimating Trump anyway. Now, a lot of the Democrats talk about that too, and they're saying, yeah, but I'll bet you this year they're giving Trump more credit than he deserves, and he's actually further behind than he is. I don't recall polling companies ever doing that for Republicans. And at the end of the day, it matters which state you win. That's why they're called battleground states. Romney was up 9 points over Obama. Think about that for a minute, for the national popular vote. And that's not how the election turned out. So, of course, that was going back quite a ways. Polling was a little more honest then, but Romney did not win the battleground swing states that he was supposed to, because he made stupid comments like, it's in the bag. I've got it in the bag. So, you most certainly do not. But if we base things on just the last 3 elections, Trump is in the best place he's ever been. Things are looking extremely good because they were trying to cheat for Kamala, and she was still down in the polls. And she's doing worse than they're reporting now. Couple of crazy chipmunks over there, huh? Did you see that? So we're going to walk down on this part of the path. Beautiful day today. That's a good day to walk. This is where we saw all them frogs, which right now they're probably not doing very well. Maybe there's a lot of bugs to eat. Maybe they are doing well, but I'm not seeing them all over the place like I did. This is the same spot basically that we have seen deer quite a few times. A couple times on film, and other times where I've seen them and didn't get anything recorded in the past. That was before I was making these videos. So I'm going to flip this around again, and as always, I want to thank you for walking with me. And I'm just wearing a long sleeve with a t-shirt over it. Primus is a band I like. Saw them in concert a while back, years ago. It was a good one too. Got a lot of critters active out here, running when they see me, scampering. So anyway, we have a really good chance to make history this year with the election. And you know, I've said it before, I'm just not seeing any electricity for Kamala at all. Nothing. And all I'm seeing is the sycophants on the media and on social media that support anything blue, no matter who. And they're trying to make her into a big deal. And people aren't buying it. So they're not. And that's good news, because it's blatantly apparent that people are not buying it. And I really don't think she's going to win. I really don't. I think you're going to see a really big election in Trump's favor. Too big to rig. The cheating is not going to help them. It's not going to help them. lot of this stuff is not going to help them very much. Halo.
Nice day.
Yes, it's
Beautiful.
perfect. Could not be better.
We got more coming.
Yes, we do. So, she was saying it's a beautiful day. And as you can tell from my reaction, I had heard somebody or something. I didn't know what it was until she popped up out of the woods. So I'm very glad she's not an axe murderer. She's got ski poles. She'll be going through here this winter when there's snow, and she has her skis. So that might be a good shot out there. I don't know how much of that you can see, but you know, we are seeing amazingly good things going on right now. You know, the other thing too I wanted to mention is get involved with your local politicians, or at least talk with them, even if they are Democrat. A lot of them will talk to you and listen to what you have to say. And if you get one that comes to your house and knocks on your door, take a few minutes to talk with the Democrat. Tell them why you don't support them. And then when they try to circumvent you with, you know, propaganda, tell them, nah, that's not true. That's not true, and this is why it's not true. And then say why it's not true. You know? So, I did that with the Democrat state representative that's in my district when they were going around about the gun legislation. He voted in favor of gun control, and I got to tell him my point of view, and he actually listened. And he also listened to my point of view on the transgender ideology, and he ended up being a Democrat that voted against that. So it's not a popular topic. So a lot of times these Democrats need to hear your point of view, because he obviously got the point that I was not being transphobic when I didn't support it. I told him very clearly that I do not care what somebody does or is. Don't force it on other people. When you start getting into the neo-Marxist gender ideology stuff and forcing compliance, that's not what America is about. You know, live and let live. You want to do what you want to do. God's the only one that you're going to answer to at the end of the day. And I'm just saying that if somebody does not agree with the politics behind it, it does not make them a bigot or racist or a transphobe. So I made sure I explained that to the Democrat and the Republican. And both were good with it. They understood that. So it helps to talk with people. People don't talk anymore. These days it's knives out. I'm gonna jab you before you jab me, kind of thing. You know, we gotta stop doing that. People need to talk. We used to talk in this country, and this country was a better place to live in because of it. You didn't always get everything you wanted, but you got a lot of stuff you wanted because it was compromise and people actually talked and worked out things. I'd love to sit down with a room full of Democrats and go through a whole bunch of reasons why common sense gun legislation would actually work, and gun buyers and gun owners would support it. But at the end of the day, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, because you know they want to ban all firearms and they want to rip up the Constitution. So there's no compromise there. You can never compromise with these people when they have that mentality. And that's what is causing our problems right now. It's either their way or you're a racist. It's either their way or you support killing children by allowing people to go into schools and shoot people because you want firearms. You know, and that's not what America is. That's not how it's been, and it's not going to be that way, and they're going to have to learn the lesson the hard way because they're losing. I know in some states you might not think you are getting anywhere and you're not getting ahead. If you're in Illinois and, you know, You basically have resorted to hiding firearms in the freaking top shelf and your shit are out in the back somewhere. I mean, I understand, okay? But things are changing. People need to do more with their vote. And the other thing I wanted to talk about today is voting. Very important to go out and vote. And a lot of people, they're cheating. It's rigged. It doesn't matter. Listen, if your vote didn't matter, Democrats would not be stabbing everybody on the planet trying to get your vote, okay? Votes matter. Just lose that mentality, okay? I mean, whenever I hear somebody say that, I just literally go, another one of these morons. You sound like a moron when you say that. And I'm just going to tell you honestly, you know, I always give my opinion. If voting doesn't mean anything anymore, we would have had a civil war already, because people would die to protect that. On both sides. It's an important thing for everybody. So, what the Republicans are doing this year, ooh, look at this, I gotta do this first. Sorry. Anyway, what the Republicans are doing this year is they're stealing from the Democrats. It's awesome to watch too. This year, the Republican Party is pushing voting early. Get your vote in the bank. Vote early. So, Republicans are voting early, and it's making a difference, because right now there's quite a few states where Republicans are outvoting Democrats with early voting. It's looking really good, serious. So basically the Republicans are learning that the laws being what they are, you can sit there and complain about them, you could say the law should be this, it should be that, but it's not. This is what we have. So take advantage of it and do what the Democrats do. Steal their game, okay? So that's what we're doing. Elon Musk is currently angering a lot of liberals right now. He is out campaigning today in Pennsylvania for Trump. He is also, he set up a petition, okay? And what he's doing is he's offering $100. He's offering $100 for people to register with this website if you live in Pennsylvania. So you register with it, you get paid $100 to sign that petition, and then you go out knocking on doors and you talk with people. That's all you got to do. And you go talk with people and say why they should be voting for Republicans. And that makes a better ground game for the election for people that haven't voted yet, the independents, the holdouts, the I'm not sure who I'm going to vote for's. And the Democrats are angry because they're trying to say it's illegal to do that. It's not. It's not. I looked that up online. Several states have banned that practice. Most of the ones that have banned it are Republican states. And Democrat states have actually passed laws saying that you can pay people for their signature on petitions. So there you go. Elon Musk is stealing a Democrat idea. And he's like, well, you know, I'd like to see them call me out on it because they've been doing it for a long time. They've actually passed laws, and Maine's one of them. This state right here, you can pay people to sign petitions. They can be compensated. Should be illegal, I agree. Yep, it should be illegal. But this is what they do, so we're gonna do that too. You get where I'm going here? So That's it, right there. Hi, how are you? So they're going to do the same thing, and you know, let the Democrats cry foul, and then we can go, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but, you guys do it too. So basically, we just have to go play their game for a while until common sense is restored. And that's it. Let them cry. Cry more. So we'll just go play their own game, and you know, some states it is illegal to do that, but a lot of states it is not, and there are other states that have no laws about it yet. So do what you got to do to win. That's what they do. So I'm enjoying this very much because they're getting very angry about it. And it's like, oh well. So we will just play their own game, beat them at their own game. And the reason why early voting should be supported, and this is a really big one, okay? A lot of people don't think of this, but it's the kind of stuff I think of, is you have a Republican candidate running for office. He's got a certain amount of money to spend, and a lot of the money, like for Senate, will be delved out by the Republicans. A lot of times people like Mitch McConnell control who gets funded and who doesn't, which parts of the country the Senate race is more important, and so they dish the money out. Now the problem is Democrats outspend Republicans 4-1 usually in elections, local and nationally. Perfect example. The Democrat running for this district here is a retired firefighter. He's not rich by any means, and he's outspending the person that's a Republican running against him, who is not rich by any means, and he's outspending him 2-1 because he's getting money from the Democratic Party in Maine. And the Republican Party just does not have that kind of bank. He's getting some money from Republicans, but the point being is Republicans get outspent 2-1. Local elections, and the further up the chain you go in necessity and importance, the more they outspend. So, presidential election, for example, they sucked $250 million out of Trump's budget defending himself legally in courts and lawyers and all kinds of crap. And he had to pay fines and restitution. And despite those cases going to be overturned, which they will, he still had to pay that. And a lot of his legal fees he took from campaign money, which is fine because people campaigning don't care about that. I don't know what the actual numbers are on that. I really don't care. I don't care if he used all campaign money on that. You know, he had a lot of big donors step up and give him $10 million, $15 million for that purpose. So they're sucking on the bank account of somebody they're going to outspend heavily to begin with. Kamala Harris, 3 weeks before the election, still has almost $1 billion, okay, to spend. it's friggin' insanity. That should be illegal. I mean, that's just outrageous. Trump's got about 325 million. So he's getting outspent 3-1, and he's leading in the polls. You know, maybe the Democrats should try something new and different, like actually have good policies. You know? So anyway, that's what they're doing. I mean, I don't want to say they buy elections, but you know, they spend an awful lot of money on commercials and advertising, and apparently in Pennsylvania, every 2 minutes on the TV set is a political ad. And I'm sure the Harris campaign is heavily outspending Trump in advertising in Pennsylvania. Plus, you have people running for Senate. And so anyway, you know, this is just what the Democrats do. They are the party of corporations and the mega rich. And they turn around and use the media to flip-flop that, saying that the Republicans are the ones that are coddling rich people. It's absolutely disgusting what they do with the media. So anyway, Republicans are making a huge showing this year, voting early. I would urge you to vote early. And if you live in a state where they use electronic voting, make sure when you get your receipt for voting that it reflects who you voted for. There have been reports already, okay, that Dominion, again, okay, is flipping votes, presumably in favor of Kamala for people that voted for Trump. This happens every year. They have electronic voting. Nobody's done anything about it. Nobody's gonna do anything about it. So when you go vote, take the time before you leave, okay, before you leave the polling station, to check your ballot receipt to make sure it's who you voted for. Very important. You know, past 2 elections. Oh, it's just a glitch. It's a glitch. We fixed it. Well, it's doing it again this year. So they haven't fixed it. It's part of the plan, okay? So, you know, you need to make a fuss about it at the polling place. Don't be afraid to speak up. Get angry. Say, hey, I did not vote for this. This is bullshit. Why are you giving me this? And, you know, I think we're going to need to see a lot of people doing that in public. It's unfortunate, but now I'm saying that, but you know, don't be violent. Don't ever be violent, ever, okay? Just don't do that. But you have a right to, while you're voting, and they give you a receipt that says you voted for Kamala Harris and you didn't, you damn well better say something about it and make sure you're heard. So, Maine here has paper ballots, which leads me to my next topic. Absentee ballots versus mail-in voting. A lot of people seem to think that mail-in voting is the same as absentee voting. It's not. Absentee voting is you contact your Secretary of State through a government website and request a ballot. You have to fill out a thing. This is my full name. It's got your birth date, your address. It's got that information. Then that goes to your city clerk. Your city clerk then approves of your ballot and says, yes, that person lives here. And then they mail out your ballot. So it's very important to distinguish the difference. Now, Maine does not use where the state mails out a whole bunch of ballots to everybody. Some states do that. Now, very important for you to make your own decision in the state you live in, because pretty much all the states have absentee ballots, and the ones that have mail out or provisional ballots, they just randomly mail them out to people where you can end up with 3 ballots in your box. If that happens, throw those ballots away and request an absentee ballot directly, or request a ballot directly from your Secretary of State your website for your state, because absentee ballots are all paper ballots nationally, as far as I know. So if everybody's argument is we should all have paper ballots, well, we have paper ballots now. If you just do absentee voting, and you can track it on the internet. That's the other important thing. So you request your ballot from your state, and I think all states now have that. If you're worried about, oh, this guy that works for the post office is just going to throw my ballot in the trash and I'll never know if I voted, you can track your ballot on the internet. Mail-in ballots to your house, you can't. So, you know, the laws are what they are right now. I said that earlier. Okay, we can complain and say it shouldn't be like that. Why do they do that? Doesn't solve anything. We're in an election right now, and that is the current rules that we have. Deal with what we have. Deal in reality. Okay, so request absentee ballots. Vote that way. They are barcoded. Make sure you signed whatever it is you need to sign on the envelope, because if there's no signature, it can be chucked in the garbage. And I think it's like that in most states. So what I say to you is to get the absentee ballot so you have a paper ballot if you want paper ballots. And you can track it on the internet, and you can tell if you voted or not. The website in Maine will even tell you if there was a mistake on your ballot and it was disqualified. So then you can get another one. So that's, you know, I don't have a problem with that. The mentality that a lot of Republicans have, where I have to go vote in person because I don't trust mail-in voting, well, you shouldn't trust mail-in voting. But absentee ballots, absentee voting by mail, is not the same as mail-in ballots. And a lot of places, like in Maine, will have a drop-off box outside City Hall, or you can go right into City Hall and give it to the city clerk yourself. So you can vote in person to the city clerk, but have a ballot sent to your house so you can fill it out at your leisure. There's different ways to vote. You don't have to show up on voting day. You don't have to count on, okay, we're not going to have a freak early blizzard in New England that day, or we're going to have a hurricane, or, you know, some big emergency where you work and you have to go work and you totally forgot to go vote because you had to do something really important with your job. If you vote early, you get all of that out of the way. And I think the days of Republicans pushing to show up on voter day, I think those days are gone. Until, you know, the laws change and the rules change, we have to play by their rules. That's it. And we need to be better at it than they are. If they're going to go out and do ballot harvesting, get these people to drive around and get people to fill out ballots, then we're going to do the same thing. Instead of crying about it on CNN or whatever show, trying to get their talking points with a gotcha with you, just do what they're doing. Just do what they're doing. We can go out and ballot harvest. You know, why not? It's legal. They made it legal, so let's take advantage of it and beat them at their own damn game. I'm okay with that, because we're better than they are anyway. So, because at the end of the day, it forces them more to have to campaign on policy, which they don't do, because their policies are shit, okay? Liberals are shit, okay? They used to be good. I used to be a liberal. I used to be a liberal Democrat, okay? Nowadays, and I haven't changed. I just believe in the Constitution, free speech, fairness for everybody, live and let live. But, you know, the Democrats went a different way, and I couldn't be a part of that. So, yeah, I voted for Bill Clinton, and somewhere between Bill Clinton and Obama, I left the Democrats because they lost their way. And they're even worse now than they ever have been. And it's money. It's money. It's big, giant, billionaire socialist donors who are changing the political landscape globally, not just in the United States. They did it in Canada, Europe, and, well, there you have it. about that. I had to get a couple pictures with my camera. Sorry, did not mean to be annoying. Anyway, I think we'll walk down to look at the Whale Rock, because I haven't walked for a couple days. I'm gonna go that way. This is definitely the time of year out here, looking at this view that we have right here, where you might be expecting Jason Voorhees to pop out from behind a tree with a hockey mask on and a machete. Let's hope that doesn't happen today. If it does, I want the Friday the 13th part 2 where he has the pillowcase. The pillowcase with one eyeball. A lot of people, I'm a fan of these old horror movies. A lot of people don't realize that Jason did not get a hockey mask until part 3. The first movie, it was actually his mother doing the killing. Because nobody was watching her son. You should have been watching him. Anyway. So we're having fun. I'm having fun this election. I feel really good about it. I feel a lot less nervous about it than I did in 2020. And there's a lot of reasons why. But one of them is just simple math with the polling, the quality of candidate for the Democrats. Now, Joe Biden, whether you like Joe Biden or not, he was an established name in the Democratic Party. Everybody knew him. He was a great public speaker. He really was, okay, until he lost his mental faculties. And I think the DNC just banked on him as a name associated with Obama, because then they would get the women vote, the black vote, they would get the Hispanic vote, and all these other votes. And Joe Biden succeeded in getting a lot of those in 2020. I still say Trump won, but that election was so close that in the battleground states that it was a monumental achievement for them to cheat that much, but they did it. And now things are even worse for Kamala, because Trump is more popular now than he ever has been. That's just a fact. Kamala Harris isn't popular. She's never been popular, and the reason why she looks like she does in the polls right now is because the same reason that she wasn't the presidential nominee for Democrats in 2019. She's not a good candidate. She's terrible. So that's just the way that is, and they're going to pay for that, because she does not, and that was leaked before she was made the candidate. Somebody from the Biden family, and you probably remember me talking about it on my walk, an anonymous source that was a Biden relative said that Obama, talking with the Bidens, had said that Kamala's not ready for prime time. He didn't think she could win. And the DNC went with her anyway. But that was the leaked by the Biden family member, anonymously, whoever that was. They were upset that they were chasing Biden out of the Oval Office, which they did. They removed a duly elected president by threatening to remove him from office if he didn't comply. There's absolutely no proof of that, I understand. But on the other hand, it is rumored that that is the case. And I believe it. I think they threatened him with the 25th Amendment. They panicked over polling after that horrible debate. And there might have even been some that set him up to fall with that debate. Of course, we'll never know that. That's just my opinion. I think some people wanted him out. And so there's a lot of things not right with the Democratic Party right now. So we are out here with a lot of wilderness out here. Follow these power lines all the way that way. We'll end up in Canada. In fact, so I'll walk through here. Summertime, I have to worry about ticks and stuff walking through here. Right now, I do not. But let's see, it is nice today out here. So anyway, Kamala is not a good candidate. That's the big factor. The second factor is the media is less popular than they ever have been. And the other factor is Trump is more popular than he ever has been. And the other factor is that a lot of voters upset with 2020 are doubling down and really making an extra effort in this one. And that's going to make the difference. And what do I mean by that? I am seeing, and I'm sure you are as well, I'm seeing a lot of black people for Trump that weren't for Trump before. I've seen gays for Trump. I've seen trans for Trump. I've seen Hispanics for Trump. I've seen lesbians for Trump. I've seen Asians for Trump. It's like the people are for Trump. So we're seeing a lot of that we did not see in 2020, that extra enthusiasm. So anyway, we got somebody coming here. I'm going to flip the camera around. This is somebody walking along the power station lines, which I've always wanted to do and I never did. So we're going to head up this way as we got the whale rock right here. See, looks like a whale. So we're going to head on up this way. Back on the trail. And we're going to head up that really steep hill. So a lot of people are going to vote. This is where those two trees flipped over this way. And they've been cut up since. I don't know what we're going to get for storms this year. I have no idea. But we're going to walk down this way. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you have already voted. If you haven't voted yet, make sure you go out and vote. So, you know, we need to start doing things a lot different as a party. We need to do things like individual voters, you and I both. We need to be more of a unity party, okay? That is to say, unity as in unity. Everybody is welcome into this party. We want to be a unity party because we want to counter the racism narrative, because we're not racist. Everybody knows that. That's in the party. But we need to remove that stigma by default, simply just by being inclusive. Trans people are people too. Gay people are people too. Black people are people. Asians are people. Hispanics are people. It's an everybody party. Because you will find out very quickly that there are a lot of people that do not ascribe to the neo-Marxist ideologies of the left that are minorities. There are a lot of minorities that are kept in line through fear and peer pressure. And we can counter that by making them feel safe. So that's what we need to do. Show them we are different through rhetoric and policy. Make it clear that when you are against transgenderism, you're not against trans people. You're against transgender ideology, indoctrination of kids in schools, firing teachers for not going along with it by calling them bigots and transphobes. That's what Republicans don't like. So we need to change that whole thing through action and rhetoric with people when you talk with them. Because there is a difference. There's a difference between a black person and somebody that's in the inner city gangbanging, selling drugs, raping, pillaging. That doesn't represent black people. That represents scumbags. Got nothing to do with being black. So, you know, there's a stereotype that they don't want either. So we need to all get together, start talking common sense and being unified. We need unity. So let's flip this around. I'm going to go up this steep hill here that kills me every time. There we go. Go up this way. Glad I came out here today for Woods Walk Gun Talk number 32. There's some people coming down here. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Oh, we'll head on up the hill. Yep, this is a real hill. My lungs are working extra. pretty soon this is going to be a steep part of the trail that if you're not careful and you slip on ice, you're going to die. All right. A lot more difficult to do that hill in the summertime when it's 95 degrees and humid than it is today. Today it's about 69 degrees. It's beautiful. It's not humid. See how much battery. All right. Be a good time to change the battery. I'll be right back. Sitting down for a minute after that big steep hill. Got a sweaty eyebrow. Beautiful day today. If you're enjoying the walk. We have a little bit of time in there. Hour and a half, almost 3 miles. I have it paused because I'm sitting down, not walking. So, yeah, we have an interesting election coming, and people need to vote. Very important, importante. And we need to win this election. And we can do that by people showing up and being serious about this and getting other people to vote who haven't voted in a long time. Everybody has a relative or two that has not voted. It's very important. So, anyway, things are looking really good for Trump in all the swing states, and a lot of them have him ahead by a point and a half. Doesn't seem like a lot, but if they have underestimated Trump like they have in the past, that means he has a 6 or 7 point lead in each one of those states, and that's huge. So, better to be ahead than behind anyway. And again, I need to reiterate, and this is important, Trump needs one of the battleground swing states. Once you get outside Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina, which Trump should win those, then Trump just needs one of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, or Pennsylvania. He needs just one of those, any one of those 4, and he will win the election, because he's expected to win in North Carolina and Georgia and Arizona. Nevada, 6 points. That would be more valuable to Kamala, I believe, that 6 points. Trump can still win this if he doesn't win Pennsylvania. That's how important this is. Now, a lot of people on TV are saying Pennsylvania is going to decide this election. Technically, yeah, but there's still a path for Trump to win if he doesn't win Pennsylvania and he wins Michigan, or if he wins Wisconsin. It'll give him over 270 if he wins Georgia and North Carolina, which it looks like he's going to. So it's one of those things where this is going to be a big election win. I believe Trump's going to win. Even with their cheating, he's going to win. Because from the research I've done, they don't have enough stuff to cheat that much without getting caught. They just don't. And it's also been made plainly clear by states like Georgia that people processing stacks of ballots more than once are going to be prosecuted. And there's actually been commercials running on that, I believe. And the other thing I saw that is important is Georgia Republicans had changed some election rules for the better, but unfortunately a judge has struck them down. And I believe the judge did it in a nonpartisan manner, okay? I checked out what Georgia's state constitution is, and I think it is unconstitutional to say that you cannot have a drop box somewhere unless there is video recording it and things like that. So those got reversed. There won't be enough time before the election to change that. So that's something a lot of people wanted, and the Republicans in Georgia went ahead and did it, but it got turned over by a judge. So basically Trump's just going to have to win the old-fashioned way, by having a lot more votes than the other candidate where they can't cheat. Because, you know, cheating has been going on for a long time. And in France, they got rid of mail-in ballots because there was too much fraud going on. So they don't have that there. And people know who won the election on election night. That's the other thing. So I guess what I'm getting at is, in 2020, we did not know who won the election because of Pennsylvania the Saturday following the election. And a lot of people questioned that election result because it took them so long. Rightfully so, you know. So this year, there's a lot less early absentee ballot requests made by Democrat voters this time. A lot less than in 2020. And Republicans are showing up to vote early. So all of this is really good. We're not going to know the election results in Pennsylvania election night. I really wish we would, but we're not going to. But don't let that throw you, okay? Trump wins Michigan, then waiting for Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, it won't even matter. It won't matter. They'll announce Trump won the election while they're still cheating. I would love that. I would love that so much. And that could happen this year. We may actually see that. And I've been asked before, what the hell is this when I walk by it? Well, in loving memory of Virginia Greer Trafton and Willis A. Trafton Jr. by their 9 children, supporting Thorncraig Bird Sanctuary, 1994. That's what that says. So that's somebody that supported this place financially, and they get their own little stone here, which is nice. So I'm going to move on. A lot of these nice little places right here. Sit down and enjoy the view. And we get that one over there you can sit on and do the same thing, which is what I like about it. I don't think I've ever come in here and just sat on this. And this is another view area where you have a view way out in the distance. So you can climb up on here, and you can just sit here and look way out into New Hampshire over there if you want to. And just sit here, look around, relax, and enjoy life. It's pretty easy. Anyway, So we're going to march on. So very important that people vote. I guess is the whole point of this show today. It's not really a show. It's a walking vlog, an exercise vlog, an almost daily one. Walking with Jaybo. And today just happens to be Woods Walk Gun Talk number 32, which is what I like to call it when I go in the woods. I talk about a lot of the same stuff while I'm walking in the city too. But here we get this nice added scenery, which we're going to flip around now. There's a whole bunch of different ways to walk in here. Beautiful place. So grateful this is here. I really am. There's so many places like this in Maine, but this one is special to me. I've come here a lot since I was a kid, and it's always been a fun place to come to. Hasn't changed very much over the years. It has changed some. Oh, we can see it today. You won't be able to see it though, unfortunately, because this camera's definition won't be good enough. But right at the tip of my finger, way out in the distance, is the top of Mount Washington, which is now starting to get a snow cap. And I know you can't see that with this, but you can with the naked eye. You'd have to take my word for it. So there it is, Mount Washington. That's why this bench is here. It was put here by people that like to look at Mount Washington from here that passed away. So that's pretty cool. It's just a stone bench, and you come here, you sit on it like this, and you look out through this clearing made in the trees so you can see out to New Hampshire. And there's Mount Washington right there. On top of that mountain, it's getting snow covered. And it is also the place on Earth that had the fastest wind speed recorded on Earth up there. 200 and something miles per hour. So anyway, I don't know how many times we've been on this walk and I've said, oh, we can't see the mountain today. We can't see it. It's humid, it's this. Well, there it is. Haven't been able to see it since last winter when the air was dry. So definitely can see that today. So the Mount Washington Observatory does have a channel on YouTube with a live cam, and they're broadcasting now. It's real easy to find, just Mount Washington Observatory, and you will see on there that they are in fact having snow. So we're going to head on down this way. We'll work our way out of here, I think. Got to see where we are on here. Oh, let's go down this way. Forgot all about this trail. And I want to walk down this way because we're at almost 3.5 miles. I'd like to get at least 4 in here today, and then a little bit more outside. I have to walk off a pumpkin pie with some whipped cream I had last night. And the piece of pie I had was almost half the pie, so I was a bad boy. It was good though. So we'll go down this way. I see a rock wall there. There's a lot more I can see out in the woods here that we didn't see before, because we were had more leaves and stuff on the trees. So now that a lot of these lower trees like this have defoliated, we can see more into the woods. Now this looks more like Ewok land in Return of the Jedi. I need a speeder bike. Yes, please. I'll definitely take one of those. So we'll head down this way. And this part we're going to walk through right now. In the summertime, there's a lot of mosquitoes. And this time of year, not so much. Probably a couple, but nothing to really worry about right now. And that's because that is a mosquito swamp down in there. It's pretty much just standing water right now because we haven't had any rain for the brook to be running. Everything's still kind of dried up at the moment. It was a gnat. I got attacked by a gnat. So we'll walk through here. I'm going to take a left over here this time. We actually walked through this way earlier. Head back down this way. We're going to pass that spot where we saw deer the last time. Small little squirrel with a red tail, digging around for acorns and nuts. They'll do that. This is right where we saw deer last time. Cross right through here. She actually came right up through here. Nobody around today. Wow, a whole bunch of acorns. I don't recall ever seeing this much acorns. Actually, I did last year when we had a mild winter. I wonder if there's a connection there. Got a lot of acorns again. Does that mean it's going to be a mild winter again? We're on the red trail. Let's walk down through here. We'll be coming up on 4 miles shortly. Wow, that's a pretty impressive tree. Looks like it lost a branch at one time. Broke off, fell down from up there. Big oak. That's a big oak tree. The old mighty oak. Head on down this way. Swear to God, it seems like every time I go through here, it looks different. It's part of what I like about it. The seasons change, and it does look different. Guess Trump was speaking in Lancaster, Pennsylvania today. He was also going to stop by Feasterville, wherever that is, Feasterville, Pennsylvania, to operate the fry cook machine for making fries, to make fun of Kamala Harris because she got caught lying. She never worked in one. She was trying to relate to the kiddies who work in fast food chains at lower wages. And so she was trying to appeal to, which I don't have a problem with that. It's just she was just disingenuous. She lied about it. That's all they do is lie, make things up, exaggerate. It's ridiculous. So, all right, I'm gonna go through here. It's a nice view, I think. Cut through over here. Go across the wood bridge. Work our way out of here now. Now usually I will hang a right when I get down here and head out of here, but I'm going to go straight this time. And I'm going to go out the same way I came in, just for the sake of doing something different. I'll try to go down here without breaking anything. Hi. So we'll head down through here. We'll head on down the hill. But anyway, basically what I was saying, so I'll flip this around, is make sure you vote. Vote, vote, vote. Fight, fight, fight. Vote, vote, vote. Fight, fight, fight. Head down here without slipping on pine needles or leaves. Pretty steep little downhill thing right here. Watch where I'm going. I gotta plot my course. Anyway, Trump was supposed to cook some fries in Feasterville, Pennsylvania, which is a few miles away from Lancaster. And Feasterville is a small little township on the outskirts of Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a big voting center. And Feasterville is in Bucks County. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Bucks County in Pennsylvania, but it is said that when somebody wins that county, they win the state of Pennsylvania. So Trump is there to cook fries. Pretty cool, I think. It's a small town, and he's gonna go whoop up some fries at a McDonald's. Now, McDonald's are all franchised, and the owner of this establishment already had to put up a sign that said, "I do not play politics. Any candidate is welcome here to visit." In other words, if Kamala wants to go there, she can go there, okay? But he's put that sign up on his door because the media is sniffing around, and Trump's going to be in there. So McDonald's is a big corporation. People are going to try to pressure McDonald's to make life shit for this guy who bought into a McDonald's franchise, which costs a lot of money to do that. It used to be $1.4 million, I think, just for the right to sell merchandise in your store with the McDonald's logo on it. So these places are all franchised, and they have to abide by the McDonald's chain code of food and what they're selling, but they are owned by individual people. So It's one of those things, and he's having Trump stop in there to cook fries because he was making fun of Kamala. So I'm sure the McDonald's Corporation, who has been woke in the past, is probably going to punish this person, unfortunately. But I think this person's decided I'm going to do it anyway. And so if you're in Feasterville, Pennsylvania, go buy a damn Big Mac, okay? Help this guy out, all right? So that's all I got to say about that. And we're going to walk on down here. I'm going to walk my way out of here, like I said, but a different route. So I'm going to flip the camera around again. Hope you guys don't mind me doing that. I just don't think anybody wants to see my face on the camera the entire time. I know I don't enjoy that. Although in the background behind me there is some nice scenery today. This is very nice looking out here. Look at that. So hopefully we don't have really bad storms this winter like last year. I really hope we don't get that again. That was not enjoyable. It really wasn't. Got a little squirrel hopping around here. And again, they put this little bridge here because typically there's a river running underneath it, but everything's dried up. So we don't need to walk on this. So we're going to head through here. Beautiful day today. Excuse me. Usually we walk through here in the opposite direction on our way out, but the route I took today did not come out like that, and we're going to take it on out this way. And the other thing over here I never show you guys, beside the fact that there's a crazy amount of trees that blew over in the distance. I'm seeing at least 6. And they're all stacked up on each other. They all fell in the same place. And they all uprooted up there and fell that way. Because we had a strong wind from the south. And the southern part of this preserve here really took a beating the most. Very quiet and peaceful. We're at the 4-mile mark. Now, there's something here I never really show you guys, and I should, is you get this rock outcropping here, and you can see that they made these tree half-log benches, and the purpose of this, obviously, is you can bring students out here. So you can bring students out here. And you can sit down here like on benches, and somebody can stand there and with nature and all this other stuff around, and talk about whatever it is you're going to teach. That's pretty cool. It's all right. I like that. Well, we'll head down this way. Basically going to be heading on out of here. It was a nice, beautiful Sunday afternoon. I really did enjoy sleeping till 10 o'clock this morning. That was nice. I sleep so good on Sunday mornings. I really do. I've talked about that on my walks before. Usually I'll sleep about 6 hours, but sometimes on Sunday morning I will sleep 8 to 10 hours. And I slept 10 hours. 10! Can you believe it? I think I only woke up once. Anyway. I'm going to walk through here to head out of here. So, I hope you enjoyed the Woods Walk Gun Talk number 32, an almost daily walking vlog, walking with Jaybo. Hope I touched on some important subjects for everybody, and I hope everybody votes. And more importantly, I hope you get other people to vote this year. Turn your vote into 2. Vote twice. Bring a friend with you. That's what I'm pushing. And look at this tree right here. It's been pecked. It's been pecked to death by woodpeckers because that's what they do. I'll put this here. Somebody needs a walking stick. See that a lot here where people put their walking sticks up against a tree for other people to use. All right. Oh, look at this beautiful view. You see that? You get the leaves coming down like it's snowing. Told you we would see that here. You probably thought I was crazy. All right, well, I guess that'll wrap this up. I'll flip the camera around. Say my proper goodbyes. Thanks a lot for walking with Jaybo for Woods Walk Gun Talk number 32. And we will see you on the next walk. Be good to one another. Click like and subscribe. Share the content. And God bless you, everybody. Protect you and your family. And we'll watch what happens at the election coming up. It's coming up very soon. 16 days. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.